What's up, men? Welcome to another edition of the Kingsman podcast. I'm Micah Hickman. We have our good friend Todd Goodwin here as well. We're excited about today. Why? Keep your nose down, work hard, keep your mouth shut, and keep it together.
What?
That's what we're taught, right? Wrong. We're going to talk about navigating life's ups and downs. Stick around. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back, everybody. And like I said, we're going to talk today about navigating the ups and downs as a man and what that means. And is it controversial as opposed to what we're being taught in everyday life? Whether you're young, old, young family, middle, trying to figure out teenage years, how does the Bible, what does God say we should do and how we should react, engage in our life at work, in our environment, our world around us? So with that said, really excited to have you on, Ty, because this one I feel like is really kind of, yes, it's broad. What is an up and down? We'll talk about that, but I feel like this one is one that can really jumpstart and make other men who are struggling, or maybe they don't know struggling.
Especially at the beginning of a family.
Yeah.
If you get some of this stuff right, how are you going to deal with life's ups and downs? I believe some men are not, they're teenagers, 16. You were 16. I remember when you were 16. You had it all figured out.
That's right.
Just like your father did, just like I did, just like my father. We had it all figured out, and we were going to fix the world.
That's right.
And then life hit us. You go and you get married, you start having children. You're like, oh my gosh, I did not think this was happening. However, my father had that happen to him. My grandfather had it happen to him, so forth and so on. Here we are. We're doing the same thing that everybody's done. However, what can I say, what can you say to men that are going through some difficulties right now and going, I don't know what to do. I do not know how to navigate this circumstance in my life. And it could be anything.
Right.
Go ahead.
We did talk about what even is an up and down. That's one thing you asked me earlier was, what's the situation that, well, it was a big deal to me, and it wasn't a big deal to my wife, and it was a big deal that it wasn't a big deal, and that sounds dumb. How do you? And I share, but realistically, I wanted to start with what do you think personally is a major event or obstacle or something that really caused some turmoil or could cause some turmoil in your life personally? Recently?
Right off the bat, 36 years ago, when I said I do. Wasn't a problem. It was just another stage of life I had to learn to navigate.
But that was an up, right?
Yes, I had some ups and some downs.
That was a setup.
Yeah, I know exactly what you were doing. I had some ups. You can talk to my wife. I have no problem with that. But what I'm saying is that I am on a different current in the ocean when I got married. So I had to learn how to navigate the waves coming at me. Some were good, some would propel us forward, and some would push us backwards. Sometimes in your relationship with your wife, and then, you got things that help out. Sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, like this morning. I have always kissed my wife every single day of our marriage, other than one time, and then she didn't text me. I just remembered about halfway to work, turned around, went back. She's standing out in the driveway. I walked up, kissed her, left. I did that this morning, but I thought I kissed her. She said, you didn't kiss me. I said, yeah, I did. She said, no, you didn't. I said, no. I remember I was standing by the bed, or was it yesterday? Or was it the day before? Well, everything's running together.
That's
so
right.
now
That's right.
I'm at a different, that's what I'm saying. I'm at a different stage in my life to where I'm navigating stuff like I can't even remember if I kissed my wife or not.
Yeah.
I'm like, I never thought about that. Now, that is something. And I know life is going to change because I've been alive long enough. Soon. It's going to be changing soon. So how do I prepare? How do I navigate? How do I prepare for that?
I do like, and I want to hit on preparation because I'm big, like when I was doing coaching and stuff, I thought, the 3 P's of success.
They are?
Passion, purpose, and preparation.
Yeah.
If you're passionate, you're going to work with a purpose. Why? Because I'm not going to work passionately for I don't know what.
Yeah.
And then preparation is, if you don't prepare, that's the difference. We
You
go
will
on
fail.
for,
You will fail because you prepared. you failed to prepare.
But as far as what I would say, okay, work comes. You have, I mean, it's not, I'll go ahead and let everybody know that you and my dad work very closely together. You're 1 and 2, right? Okay. Love my dad. Great man. Amazing man. Y'all are vastly different than one another.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, God does have a sense of humor and who he couples
us together.
I mean, vastly. Do you trust each other?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I believe that. I believe it's evident. All right. However, there are times where y'all's differences, right, lead to, that's right, it's going to lead to severe conflict. So at work, severe conflict, what is coping mechanism number 1 where, and I talked about earlier, E plus R equals O, event plus
reaction response
equals the outcome. The event is not the outcome. How we react / respond is going to equal the actual outcome. So what is your coping mechanism in something that at work, it's a boss, it's something, he just doesn't, and look, I love, he's not going to get you. He's not going to understand your perspective.
And you don't have to. You don't have to understand somebody's perspective.
Oh, well, now you're counterculture. Yes, he does.
To love them. I don't have to understand. I don't understand everything my wife says. Doesn't keep me from loving her. I don't understand everything your dad said. Sometimes I say stuff and I go, I don't even understand what I just said. And you go, what?
But part of the conflict, maybe the issue though, is because he doesn't understand why you're so passionate, they think it's dumb, or they don't understand where you're coming from and the importance, like sometimes with where you have somebody who's a sub-supervisor or somebody who's a supervisor and somebody who signs the checks or whatever it is, or they don't understand. I like to think of you as dad is a canvas. Yep. And you do in a painting, and you do such a good job of saying, okay, we're going to use oil paint here. We're going to use these types of brushes. Mm-hmm. We're going to. He's not going to understand that.
He sees the big picture.
All. And the frustration is there's conflict or there's tension because there's a deadline or there's stuff that's supposed to happen. And because you're a Christian man and you believe in honoring it.
Yeah, my word.
But at point, it comes to a head. What do you use in your life to keep the head from exploding into an outcome that's
detrimental for the whole organization, whatever,
and your family,
etc. Well, first of all, I know it's going to sound so cheesy. I know it does. I pray. Anytime I have any kind of conflict, a matter of fact, a couple of months back, I had something that sparked my anger went from 0 to 100 in less than a second. And instead of going to that person,
I love those times. I'm not gonna lie, boy, it's so exhilarating.
I ran away to go talk to God because I did not want to have to apologize for something I said. And I had somebody tell me that years ago. They go, "You don't like to say you're sorry." And I looked at them. I went, "No, you're right. I don't like saying I'm sorry because if I'm saying I'm sorry, that means I've said or done something that hurt you, and I don't want to hurt you. Now, have I said I'm sorry? Yeah. Have I hurt somebody on purpose? Never. Have I done it by accident? Yes. Mm-hmm. So my first coping mechanism, whatever you want to call it, my first go-to is I run to Jesus. I know that sounds cheesy. I really do. I said, Lord, I don't understand why I got so angry so fast. I need you to help me. Sometimes he lets me know right off the bat. Sometimes he's like, you know what? You're just going to sit on that because you need to learn some stuff. Just sit. Mm-hmm. Don't say nothing to nobody. Don't have a bad attitude. Just sit and wait. You know how hard it is for people like me to wait?
Especially
those that wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. That's scripture, and that's part of my go-to. So, but if you don't know that, if you don't understand the scripture, you don't know the scripture, you won't run to it. You won't run to God because you, as a man, I think I can fix anything.
I think that's part of our love language. I'm so tired of being abused for saying I can fix it. I think that's what I was created for. I'm sorry, that was free. But yes, that is also pride. I understand what I said was prideful, but I got this. I can fix it. I got it. is so ingrained, like I said in the intro, nose down, work hard, everything's falling apart, keep it in, because it's just a season.
Now, is that healthy though?
Are we supposed to...
Do I come to you?
Do I have to have a coping mechanism for every valley and every peak? For the love of God, that's like saying, take every thought captive. If like,
but that's what I'm saying.
I would spend all day in a room.
And if that's the case, that means you're depending on you to do that. I can't fix me.
Bingo.
As a matter of fact, I was listening to a song today.
Good.
I don't know if anybody listens to Skillet. I was listening to their album 2024. I can't remember the name of it. And they were talking about in there, I can't fix me.
Yes.
And I can't. I can't fix me. And if I can't fix me, you think I can fix everything else around me? No, I can't. But what I can do is I run to God and go, God, you give me the strength. You give me the wisdom. You give me the understanding to be able to handle this up or down. That's what I did with my wife. I mean, I don't know if I've ever shared this on the podcast before, but when me and my wife first got married, I didn't know that she had a thyroid problem. I think it's hypo, which makes you real slow and tired. Mm-hmm, and honestly, I thought I married a lazy person. And you have no idea how difficult that was. Because I went to God and said, Lord, I don't know if I can stay married to a lazy person. I just don't know. And I'm like, and I've never, ever thought divorce. But I went to him and I said, I don't know what to do. So I need you to help me understand what's going on. And he never told me anything. So fast forward probably about 3 or 4 years later. Now, all this time I've been praying.
Hold up. So,
yeah, it took that long.
Okay, let's...
Because he was patient with me.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, and we'll emphasize that because I do, like... There are some things sometimes early in marriage that maybe like that. It's a core thing. That's a core. That's not just she brushes her teeth weird or she sleeps tucked in like a mummy.
She sleeps
weird.
all day. What's the problem?
That's right. We're talking about a core thing that would be extremely...
difficult to deal with. That's something you really have to navigate. And I knew I couldn't do it without the wisdom of God. So I would just pray. Anytime I got upset, I'd pray. Anytime I didn't understand, I'd pray.
Did you try to
Here's what happened. What was you going to say? Did I try to what? Make her? Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. No.
I tried to.
Were there small steps that you were like, hey, babe, if we did this, this, and this, where you were trying to encourage and fix set?
Yep. That did not work well. That did not go well.
I don't know, because in my mind, I know what I would do.
She didn't have enough drive. That's what I thought.
That's right. I'm here to give you drive.
Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. Well, it wasn't working until 3 or 4 years later. She's having a problem with a thyroid. It's a goiter. She goes to the doctor, finds out she's got hypo
thyroid. Yeah, something.
Anyway, they had to cut half of it. Had cancer in it. Cut it out, and everything changed. So I felt like a heel. I felt like a jerk. Here I was thinking my wife was lazy, and she had a medical problem wrong with her, and I just thought she was lazy. And I'm like, I don't know if I can handle this. And then God showed me. But here's what He showed me. He said, "You remained faithful, and you didn't really say anything. You didn't try to make something happen. You trusted me." So my go-to is I go to God first and foremost. That's Him. And then I go to God first, and if God don't give me what I want when I want it, then I go off and do what I want. No, I go to God, and I keep going to God until He answers not the answer I want, but the answer that I know is best. I mean, I can give you example after example after example in my own life, just because I got 61 years of living.
No, that's good.
And that's the thing is that, so because of that, I've learned to trust Him and to slow down before these things happen. I'm like, Lord, I don't understand what's going to go, but if whatever happens, I'm trusting You. No matter if the waves are big or if the waves are small. If it's a tidal wave or it's a kiddie pool, I'm trusting in You. Mm-hmm. Tidal wave was years later. She's pregnant with Haley. Mm-hmm. She has Haley. She's my oldest daughter. She's 33. Everything was great until about 4 or 5 years old. She started having seizures. Get her in school. Very intelligent. She can read before she goes to school. Didn't help her. Didn't try to teach her to read. She just picked up on it. But she communicated way too much. She talked and talked and talked. And fast forward a few years later, find out she's autistic. Mm-hmm. Didn't understand her behavior. And I immediately thought, I'm just going to pray this out of her.
Well, that is biblical, right?
I'm going to pray it out of her. Because I saw it as a problem. Because it inconvenienced my life.
All right. Well, that would be a selfish thing to look at it. Or selfish lens.
I didn't say that, but that's the way I was responding.
That's right. Well, I mean, that might be how you initially
It was
felt.
exactly what I felt.
And I don't think that's wrong initially.
Because I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the wisdom until God was able to grace me with it.
But let's say, okay, maybe my walk isn't as strong as your walk, and I think, okay, I'm gonna pray the same. After a year or 2 years, 3 years, nothing changes at all. Mm-hmm. Then what?
What do you do?
Angry.
What do I do? What you want?
What do I do with my anger and my why? I mean, because we could go right back to 1 or 2, 3 years after your wife, and nothing's changed, and you're like, man, this is a core thing. Because I've had the same thing, with me personally. Emily and I, and it was like, man, I told God, I was like, I didn't sign up. Like this.
I didn't sign up for this. How many times have I heard that? I didn't sign up for this.
And it was something where I've prayed, and you ain't fixing her. And you ain't fixing it. I mean,
because you thought she was the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is why I'm reacting badly. Because she keeps going doom, doom, doom. And it's her. Why are you looking at this? Why, we never had money problems. She
had
worked.
Kids?
No, even after kids. She worked well before me. She had a big girl job well before me. When I was coaching and teaching at St. Tammany, I made really good. I didn't have any debt. We had our only debt were our 2 cars. And then at age, we got married maybe age 26, 27, we were debt free for 3 years, 4 years. In money, we had no bill, and money was never a problem. Not to say we were poor
rolling
with
in
it.
The dough. I know what you mean.
Once our cars were paid off, we started paying ourselves $800 a month or $870, whatever it was a month, back into a different savings account because one day we're going to want to buy a house. And I want to have a down payment.
Because you knew you were going to have to navigate that one day, so you started doing it now.
So we weren't just blowing it or rolling in it, and we were thoughtful. Okay, well, then we had kids. Wasn't a problem, right? We found a house. That's a whole nother thing, but that was a God thing.
Did y'all build the house together, or did y'all buy the house?
We bought the house.
Okay.
It was a God thing because I wasn't moving. But, move on to COVID and what was going on between her and I, where it was just this weird year and a half, 2 years where it was just both of us, man. It was just like we irritated each other.
Almost like iron?
And we couldn't.
Sharper than iron?
Yeah. And it was, man, it was. I frustrated her, and it frustrated me that she was frustrated when I got home. Mm-hmm. And the more it happened, the more pissed off I would be, the more upset I would be. I'm telling you, because you could feel it. Well, she felt the same way about some of the stuff. It was unspoken expectations. Okay, because we didn't really talk about, there wasn't a dialect where it's okay to talk about, because talking about something that may be a core thing was cutting you personally.
So you took what she had to say as it was personal to you.
Yeah, she's personally attacking my dreams. What do you mean, why am I working so late? What do you mean, why am I working so hard? You understand the goal. You understand, like, you want me not to work? Like, I can't. One day in the house,
sit back and not do anything.
One day in the house, after a day and a half, 2 days of rest and relaxation, like I got to do something.
I believe that's godly. I believe God put it in us. In the garden, He put Adam in the garden to work the garden. So I absolutely believe that's true.
But there were things where finally all 3 of my retirements were gone.
Mm-hmm. And you're not even close to being retired.
Everything was okay. Everything was okay because I had 15,000 here, 10,000 here, 15 there. COVID came. We went through, and the first time I'd ever really sacrificed for her, which I thought I had a lot. That can be a different podcast, but I stepped away from coaching and teaching because it's what she needed at that moment. She needed to see me commit to her and choose her over my career. And I was stay-at-home dad for about a year and loved it. It was wonderful. But, some of the jobs and some of the things that, over a course of 2 or 3 years, all 3 retirements are gone. And there's nothing left to fall back. All this, Todd, I was 29 years old and had 3 retirements. I wasn't dumb.
You didn't have anything to fall back on other than God.
That's the lesson. I got this, and it took me, like, my first coping mechanism, if there's an argument or there is heat, and I physically, because I shared earlier, you said I had the chance to blow, I went from 0 to 100. I love that. Man,
that's great on the football field.
But that feeling of
I hated it.
Oh, what?
Because I know
I
would direct it toward a person, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because those people are valuable.
But they still
they
can
may
deserve
be an idiot, but they're valuable to God.
That's so there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
If they're valuable to God as His son and as a follower of Jesus, they're valuable to me.
And so my number one, if there is something where I feel myself like where it's I'm getting fuzzy and that heartbeat and I no longer care about the objectivity of what we're getting
You
at.
lose it. You lose objectivity.
And I'm gonna win. I leave. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say wrong. You never, in the Bible, doesn't it say, men and women, it's not good, don't go to sleep on your anger and all this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Within the context, you also got to understand, he was talking about marriage in that. So don't let the sun go down under wrath and give the devil, Satan, an opportunity.
Well, but for me, and Emily blew my phone up the first time I left. But at that point, there was nothing beneficial that
you
was
could have said
ever. Like I wasn't going to hear anything. So then I'm walking, and I'm just walking, and I'm talking to myself. My number one coping mechanism is take a walk and talk to me. Okay, and then I learned early. I had to tell myself, did she do that just to spite me, or does she even know? Did she say that?
She's not the enemy.
Did what? Well, but you say that.
That's how we see it, though, sometimes, because we see them as attacking us, and they're not attacking us. She loves you. You love her.
That's right. And
that's how the enemy comes in.
I had to start resetting the process from my anger to, did she say that to spite me? And I make myself, if yes, then we have a problem. Like I'm married, so then we've got marital issue. And no, if I know that my wife did not say that just to hurt me and cut me, because she knows that would have. Okay.
What you gonna do?
Then let me calm down just a little. If the answer is no, she didn't say that, then why am I so angry?
So if the answer is yes, you are validating your anger? Because that's what it sounds like you're doing.
Heck yeah.
Why? Because you are the center of your own universe?
No.
Because your anger...
If she's doing that to get a rise or to do... If the answer is yes, like I know for a fact, not, oh, yeah, she's saying that just because she knows how I am about that. No. First of all, we need to place things in order, okay? But if she said or did or anybody, you're doing that just because you know it cuts deep, okay? Then I am angry.
I'm not saying it's wrong to be angry.
I was about to say, and I have like...
You can be angry and sin not.
That's what I'm validating. Okay. That's why I'm so angry. That's why.
That's okay to recognize why I'm angry.
But I'm not going back in there.
With it.
That's right. My reaction is not the outcome. My reaction plus what happened. So if I react poorly, I have just as much to own in that outcome. And that is so counter what we're taught right now.
Why?
Because it is counter victim mentality.
But
you hurt
that
me,
means,
I have a
because
right
that means
to be angry.
That means you are the center of your own universe because all you can see is your own hurt, your own pain, your own sorrow. And what if my wife did say something just to cut me? Then I have to go back to the scripture and it says,
that's right.
Love hopes all things, believes all things. Love does not take into account a wrong suffered. Love does all this. So that's why I realized I went from 0 to 100 that instantly with somebody that I know loves me. And I have a loving relationship with them.
Yeah.
Why would I get so angry other than the fact that I'm focused on me? Yeah. So when I back off of that and I start learning how to navigate this by asking the Holy Spirit, okay, you've revealed to me why I got angry.
Yeah.
I don't like why I got angry. So now I'm going to respond and not react. I'm going to respond appropriately because of the Holy Spirit speaking to me. I've asked the Lord, and sometimes I've missed it. I thought it was God, and I messed it up.
Well, no, I think I think that's good. I've missed it. I've, worked through, built our marriage. We single-handedly tore it all apart. It was great, and then allowed God to really start building it into something we didn't even know how to pray to ask God, like, I don't want to say make it what it was. What it was wasn't fun. I didn't react well to things. I get angry.
Let me just tell you something. I said this in a class about 2-3 years ago. When I said it out loud, I'm like, ooh, that's good. I need to write that down.
Yeah.
So I was teaching one of the life groups, and I said this. I said, you don't have to have your best interests at heart because God does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that again. You don't have to have your best interests at heart because God does. And if I truly understand that and I truly know that, so that when something does happen that I don't like, that I may feel purposely attacked, I'm going, Lord, you've got my best interests at heart. And you've got that person's best interests at heart. So give me the peace that surpasses all understanding.
I think that's and that's what I wanted to lead into was that peace, how we respond with ups. I think core value number one, and I was going to go to, is, biblically, one thing that I learned is I need to go and ask, how do I respond well? Not right, just well.
What's best?
Yeah, because if I try to respond right, it always goes back to me. And I'd had enough of God dinging and playing whack-a-mole with me. Like, that's you, that's not me, that's you, How do I respond well? And it led into God allowing him to say, I'm angry right now. I'll give you a point. Case in point, there's some stuff going on with work where recently, whatever, where you feel spited a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And that's never going to go away.
And just, do you not see the effort? And you feel like the effort is just not, and what all it takes. And it's just like, okay, great. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Here's another scoop, and here's another scoop, right? And it's causing a problem because I also feel that I am not valuing the one time my son's going to be 9, the one time in my whole life my daughter will be 7, the one time he'll be 6.
I don't know if you
and
know
those
this,
little
but they'll be
moments.
6 for 364 days.
That's it. That's it. And I want to be, and I want to be, because one of the guilt things that I have is I am a hard worker. I'm not scared to work. I'm not scared to work and not ask with my hand out first, because I do believe that God sees.
God is a
He
rewarder
sees
of
me.
those who diligently seek him.
And even if he doesn't, hey, here's this, great job. Here's a cookie, great job. Here's everything I do. I want to make sure that I want that head nod, that man head nod that
You want to please your father.
Like, man, I see you.
I'm getting to a
Okay.
book that I read
Yeah.
that I think may help with this.
But here's my personal struggle right now for the last year. And you and I talked about this earlier, but work-life balance. I don't want to be a stay-at-work dad. But I understand that there are obligations that are godly, and I keep telling God, like, I'm angry about this because I don't know which way to push. Do I just, hey, it's 4:59. Let me start. It's 4:45. I'm gonna start putting my stuff up. And obviously, when I can leave early, I leave early. But sometimes, but it always sometimes feels like sometimes is all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You always get left holding it and making sure it's,
because you're the responsible one. Everybody else can. And here's the thing: is that in order to go up, you got to give up. That's not original with me. It's original with John Maxwell. As a John Maxwell teacher and trainer, I learned that in order to go up, you got to have to give up. You got to give up a lot of things. People go, well, this guy owns a business. He's got all kinds of money. And what you don't understand is that he's on the job all the time. Well, he ain't here. Well, he's on the job, I promise you. So the reason I'm saying that is that because you're responsible, because you have this position, there are some things that are required of you. But there is a line. And this is what I was looking for. I read it to my wife the other day, and we were talking about, this is a book I read years ago called The Essentialist. And if I can find it real quick, it's a quote that really helped me out. And basically it's talking about your time. And if you don't control your schedule, somebody else will.
I've seen that.
And
If you don't
I've
take
learned
control-
that going, this is my life. I'm not saying, all right, at 5 o'clock, boom, I don't do anything. Now, at lunchtime, when it's lunchtime, I usually go, it's 12 o'clock, it's time to go to lunch. Oh, you need something? I'm sorry, I got to go to lunch. I'm passionate about my lunch.
I'm learning that, and I feel like that's hard. But I feel like we get a lot of not excuses. I'm sorry, that's going to be wrong.
No.
That's going to be insensitive. But we get a lot of reasons why people struggle with being dad. I've never had a dad.
Yeah.
I did.
Which we will deal with.
We will. And we will. I did. I had a freaking great one.
Yeah.
I had a great,
He still has one.
still.
He's
apologize.
alive.
Yes, he's alive and kicking it with 22, 21 grandkids.
Soon to be 22.
Yeah.
Lord.
I know. But I started playing football at 5 and finished at 24. I don't remember one football game my dad was not there or on the sidelines. Not one ever.
Now, with that said,
For Caleb and Jacob and Jonathan.
All of them, I know.
And Benjamin.
I watch him when he would leave every day.
And it means more now than it did, I think, because I recognize. But I have one job. I watched this man do it and have 3 jobs.
Mm-hmm. How did he do it? By the grace and mercy of God. I know that sounds so cheesy, but
no, it's
true.
not.
He would tell you that.
Because he would say, I don't know how to handle the ups and downs, but I think one is going back to, that's why instead of old me, all this would have been internalized and I never would have told you all that.
Why? Because you thought you had to own it?
Yes. Heck yes.
That's so.
Suck it up, Buttercup. I mean, our film guys, they got kids, they got work, they got wives. We all are dealing with the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Guess what? You're living. If anybody has room to complain, it's Dad. With 27 of us, and we ate a lot, and Mom didn't work. So but he never did. So what am I saying? We all have problems.
That's why a lot of times I'd see him in his office, he'd fall asleep. I wouldn't say anything. I'm like, shut up. He's trying to get some rest.
That's right. I mean, because we drove them nuts. I mean, they would put us to bed at 8:15 and we wouldn't go to sleep till
also,
10.
let's think of something though, Mike.
But why would I not? Because you have your problems. We all are dealing with the weight of trying to be. You want to be a good dad.
But here's the thing is, you deal with stuff that I didn't have to deal with. Meaning, I didn't compare myself to other fathers in the sense that I didn't have social media. I didn't have somebody yelling at me all the time that this is how, like this morning I heard this lady goes, anybody that thinks this way is wrong. I just went, I'm like, you're an idiot. I'm not going to listen to you.
Yeah.
But that's hitting constantly. Every single day, it's on your phone, and that's why I think there has to be some discipline in your life to go, no, I'm not looking at the phone. I'm not doing this for this amount of time. I don't need it. I don't want it, because I think it is affecting how people do relationships,
100%.
How they deal with life, because they're trying to get life advice from somebody on social media who all you get to see is their good roles. They're good reels. You don't see the bad reels. You don't see the mistakes. I mean, just like right now, this is live. If we make a mistake, we make a mistake.
Yeah, I stuttered on the intro.
Yeah, I'm like,
Justin started laughing right off the bat.
And that's the thing is that what you're getting to see is everybody's best. You don't get to see the mistakes.
Yeah.
And all you get to see now, when I was growing up, we got to see people trip and fall. And you know what we'd do? Instead of laughing at them when they fall down, we'd go over and pick them up, help them up. Hey, man, you all right? Yeah, we're good. Dust each other off. And that's what's happening is that you said it earlier, you go, I got this. I can do it. I don't need anybody. I'm going to fix it. Well, that's stupid.
It is.
I mean, it's stupid because there is a mechanism that God has put in place. He's put it in place so that not just that we can come get something, but we can come give something. And that's the body of Jesus Christ.
Well, I think
that's not just what the church says.
No,
says. That's true.
That's the lost art of the fireside conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sounds so redneck and stupid. It really does. But there is a thing of where, and this sounds bad also, there's relief when you hear somebody else or 2 or 3 other people talking about the situation, or they're struggling with one of the same things, or they were struggling and they're out now, and you're like, okay, you mean they deal with it too, so it's not just me.
See, that's everybody goes through that at least once in their lifetime, so that they realize going, oh, okay, it's not just me. I did the same thing. I'm like, oh, so it's not just me. It's everybody in the world. I think that's just part of maturing.
And I think, yes, I agree. And I think as far as the mechanisms that we operate, number one, I would say coping, depending on if it's an emotional response you're fighting, I was like, first, reacting is probably never good unless there's a fire. If there's a fire, men react, do your men things.
But you've been taught how to react because that's already in you, so you don't have to think about it.
I think, first of all, is acknowledging we've got to get to a place where I had to. And if just give them a chance. Just, you've got to acknowledge that you can't. It's the stupidest thing to say, but when you look at God and be like, look, I can't. In what? You know, that's one of the coolest things when we were going through the financial things, like what solidified, one of my follow-up questions I wanted to put, what solidified the coping mechanism that it was right is, and what solidified it for me was when we were going through reworking our marriage and everything like that and learning how to communicate. And one of the things that, and I've said it before, Dan said, I want you to tell me you can't. And I was like, no, that's stupid. I mean, I can do it. I'll muster enough. I mean, we could do it. He was like, no, we're not going any further because till you can look and say, I can't. And I was
do this.
I can't what? Anything. No, I can do some things. Well, we're not going to move forward. Oh, that's a dumb argument, right? Just say the words. I'm like, well, I'm not going to say it and mean it, so might as well not.
Which goes back to the story that your dad talked about when you were a little kid and how stubborn you were. And same thing. And see, I mean, I get it. I'm the same way. I can do this. I've got this. You don't.
Give up and say, I truly don't know how to communicate effectively with a female that is named my wife. No idea. Because my love language is fix it. Her love language is open up emotionally and share with it, but don't want any type of resolution. But then when you leave them, they got to have solidification and resolution. It's the craziest thing. I'm sorry, that was for you.
Can you allow your wife to cry on your shoulder without you having to ask her what's the problem or what do I need to do? Can you do that?
Me personally, like right now, I want to say yes, but no.
You need to learn because this is what my wife told me. She goes, years, it's probably been 12, 13 years into our marriage. She goes, I don't need you to fix anything. I just need you to listen. Wish you told me that 15 years ago.
See,
13 years ago.
That's what.
Thank you. And then immediately I'm like, okay, just cry on my shoulder. It's good. I've got you. And when I wrap my arms around her, I don't need my wife to wrap her arms around me to make me feel secure.
No, yeah.
I don't. That's because I'm a man. It's just something different that God put it. When I wrap my arms around her, she I don't pull her in. She goes in.
Yeah.
She gets closer to me. And I'm like, I got you. And I go, God.
Yeah.
I need you.
I don't got you.
So I don't got this. But she thinks I do. So I need you, which is one of the most humbling things that we have to do as men is we humble ourselves before God because I'm like, God, I can't do this without you. Instead of going, I'm the man of the house, I can do whatever I want to. No, you do what God wants you to do and you realize that you can't do it without him.
Well, and I think that's one thing that I dealt with as far as there was a dragging period of where, you drag these rocks and things like that. And it really cleans off. And I went through that with the Lord. The Lord, drug me around, which he needed to be because there was some clingy stuff that he had to beat off. And,
some of us it's easier than others.
Yeah. It's never been easy. It's just.
God just took some, was it kind of stuff that he gets paint off of? What's they call that?
Stripper.
Yeah, God just put some stripper on a paint thinner on a rag and did that with me.
Yeah, no, that
he didn't have to drag me through the rocks.
That's
like you.
Yeah, that definitely happened because I was like, well, I kind of like that about me. Yeah, no, but it was a thing where until I recognized, because what he did was he took it. He took it all, my savings. You're like, you mean the Lord took? No, it wasn't just money. Money is what fund certificates. Okay. He took my security and my confidence in myself and my thoughts as to how I was going to provide for my family and ourselves later. Took that.
And that's a real thing that we really deal with. It is.
Yes.
See, I'm not saying that it's not a
and I'm not saying God's going to do that when you say, because immediately I would be like, well, I got this. Don't
like
that.
No, get up. Go to work.
Freaking right.
Work hard. Get your paycheck. Go pay your bills.
And it's a thing where I have learned when he took that, see, when that was gone, I was angry. I was angry.
Who's you angry at? At the situation? At yourself? At God?
Yes. All of it.
All of it. That's what you're just angry at everything.
I was just, because that was a lot of hard work and intentionality and preparation. And I was pissed at myself for I was angry at myself for submitting to the idea that I'm going to stop and quit working. First of all, because what kind of man that's worth anything quits
and lets his wife do it all?
And lets his wife work? What kind of man says, you know what, baby, I'll sacrifice for you because this is what you need to see and this is what your heart needs and this is what we need, us needs.
Yeah.
And the famous word submit led to all that. I was conflicted. Boy, I mean, nobody can beat you like you can. And boy, I was having a time with me. This time, though, I did my little walkabout, and instead of like planning on how I was going to fix it, I'm telling God, and I did tell God, I was like, this is stupid. This was a stupid idea. This is dumb. You told me to trust you. You told me, I know what you told me to do with my job and my career. I knew this was going to happen. What did you hear? I know you're waiting. So what did he tell you? Crickets, freaking crickets, nothing, zip.
I've been
Zip,
down that road
zero. So then, but we fast forward, he finally confirmed some things. And you know what happened though? After I revealed to the Lord how I felt, and there was a little bit of peace-ish because the emotion was out. And then I said, but you know what, God? I know where I got this got me. Because at this point,
say that again. I know where this I got it got me.
Yeah. I know where the quote, I got this got me. And in 5 years, it was about to lose it all. Okay. I don't want to go back. I'm going to trust you, but I'm still angry. And I need you to take it away.
And it's okay to be angry. It really is.
And
we said that earlier.
Every day I would walk out. I would just say, God, I'm still pretty angry, but I don't know what I'm going to do. And Emily keeps asking me, what are we going to do? And I don't know. And the more I don't know, the more angry I get.
Yeah. Because I'm supposed to know.
That's what
I'm supposed to know.
You're the end of the stick. Okay. Finally, led to peace. Because guess what? It's not my job to know yet. It's my job to trust.
And that's a whole podcast in itself. What does it mean to trust?
It's my job to trust.
Yep.
And what led to 3 years later, there was another little money issue. And you want to know, this time between me and Emily, the reaction or the environment in the house was so much different this time because it wasn't a great, what are we going to do? Immediately, he did it to us when I was there. He took care of us. We found a way when we shouldn't have.
He didn't teach you to swim to let you drown.
He's not going to let us drown. That was my first, I will not forget my first reaction this time was my response was I went to Emily and said, God didn't get us this far in our marriage just to watch us just fall apart.
Yep.
And I think if we look at the ups and downs, we can both agree that, did you choose a lot of your ups?
By trusting?
No, just in life. Did you choose your ups?
If I let life happen to me.
Did you choose your downs?
Most certainly we didn't.
No. Some would say, did you cause your downs? Absolutely not. That was somebody else's problem.
Yes,
I know.
That was my wife's choice. Not mine.
That's right.
Duh.
But I think coping mechanism number one is you have to, as a man, ask yourself, do you trust you or do you trust God?
Yep.
And if you trust you, it is stressful. I live that. And it's
your best has got you where you're at today.
Yes.
Your best decisions, your best intellect, your best whatever has gotten you where you're at today, unless you trust God. I can say,
That's right.
I'm where I'm at today, and I can blame God.
Yeah.
Not because I'm smart enough, not because I'm talented enough, not because I'm good enough. I trusted God, and I know it sounds so cheesy, but I really did. I'm like, Lord, I don't know what to do, but I'm going to ask you for wisdom because you said any man lacks wisdom, let him ask of God who gives to all men liberally.
There,
so he did.
There.
So he gave it to me.
That's step 2.
And he's still giving it to me.
Step 1 was admitting,
I don't have this.
I don't have it, so I have to trust you. Step 2, I think work, I think children, I think marriage.
All of it.
Is step 2 going and verbally saying, not in front of people. Don't be, but
not out in a restaurant.
Go to mine's just walking and talking to trees. Whatever. Verbally say, I don't know what to do about my finances, and I'm angry because I feel like, and say it. And then at the end, though, acknowledge, but I choose to trust you, and I need you to do something.
Now, with that said, he may not do it in your time frame and the way you want it done. Be willing to know that God has your best interest at heart. Understand that. He does. You may not understand it right now. It may not look like it, but I can promise you he does.
He didn't change my marriage in 6 months. It wasn't 3 months. I prayed for it. He didn't change.
He's still changing.
Look, my wife would tell you he didn't change me in 6 months. Even though she was like, man, if you don't change this dude in the way, and vice versa. I was like, God, if you don't change her, man, like I need you to change her heart, the way she sees things, the way she, it didn't happen in 6 months. It didn't happen. But 4 or 5 years later, little things happened.
But here, let me go all the way back to the first thing I was talking about when Nina had the problem with her thyroid. I began to pray and ask God to fix my wife because I thought she was broken.
I've done it.
Everybody has.
Hand up.
But here's the thing is, God didn't focus on her. He started changing me. He began to change my heart and how I perceive things, and changed me. My wife did not know any of this was going on because I didn't go to her and tell her all that because I just kept it between me and God until later he would say, hey, I need you to share this. But here's our ups and downs. Here's one of the things. My first 2 coping mechanism, first and foremost, admit I don't have it, and I go to God. And then the second one or the third one is I have people around me that I can pour my heart out to. Now, do I run and pour my heart out to everybody? No, I don't. I have a select few people in my life. Jesus had Peter, James, and John. It was those 3 that was closest to him.
You need a dot. So a dot of trust, not a circle.
Oh, okay. A dot. And I do have those, and I'm able to and that's brothers in Christ that I can go to. Not just anybody. I don't just pour my heart out in a life group. I want you to let y'all know. I'm like, no, that's not. Somebody starts doing that in my life group. I'm like, whoa, we'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
I want to deal with this in front of everybody.
Yeah.
So that's 3 things right off the bat. We've got to admit that we don't have this, and we got to trust God. Second thing is that you know what, Lord, I've got to trust you. And then the third one was I'm saying basically I'm going. What did I just say? I just lost my thought.
No, your coping process. Number 1, admit that I ain't got it.
Yeah.
Number 2, verbally saying, God, I trust that you got it. And number 3, you were talking about
people, the body of Christ. I need other people in my life just as much as they need me in their life.
Yeah.
And a lot of times men will isolate ourselves. We'll isolate ourselves and go, I've got this. But that goes back to point 1.
Because nobody wants to walk into somebody else's dumpster fire. But the reality, though, is maybe God put you in my life
to help me walk through.
to help me through my dumpster fire.
Yep.
So,
We probably need to wrap this
guys,
thing up.
I hope
He talks a lot.
you enjoyed it. We're trying to cut it down and keep it a little bit short, but I'm going to tell you this stuff like here, the ups and downs, just E plus R equals O. The event plus the response equals the outcome. Ask God to help you respond better.
Yeah.
Help you respond better. And how can you trust him to help you respond better? Because you don't put your nose down and cover it up. Covering it up does nothing. So, remember, you need somebody. I need somebody. We as men need shoulders to lean against.
Don't isolate. Don't isolate.
That's right. You need a shoulder for the good and the bad. Celebrate them.
Yep.
So we appreciate you. Hope you come back. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe. When Todd says something crazy, clip it, share it, send it to us, whatever. We appreciate you
But no
guys.
complaints.
That's right. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk to you later.